Hey everyone, it's Liam. Before we kick off this tutorial, I'm going to plug myself really quick. I run a podcast called Candid Crypto, whose link is candidcryptopodcast.com. My co-host Michael and I discuss trending topics in the cryptocurrency space. Everything from what is Bitcoin to the technical tutorial I'm presenting right now. Our goal is to present topics in the digital asset space in a friendly and casual way, with content for both beginners and crypto gurus. We publish episodes every week, so check out our website or look us up on Spotify. Again, that's candidcryptopodcast.com. This tutorial will allow you to deploy your very own NFT or non-fungible token to the Ethereum test network. So specifically, we're launching an ERC 721 token, the Open Zeppelin implementation. And we're going to be putting it on the Ethereum test network known as Rinkeby. The NFT will be visible on the OpenSea testnet browser. You'll be able to look it up and view it on OpenSea's interface. And in theory, this method can be ported to the Ethereum main network. However, I recommend doing more research yourself in order to make that happen. The end result will be something akin to this. You'll be able to see the NFT in your web browser, and you'll be able to list it if you want. However, since we're on the test network, it doesn't really matter, but you'll get something very similar to this. So the motivation for creating this presentation is threefold. First of all, building NFTs from scratch builds character. I say that because I like to tinker around with things like this, and I wanted to share that with the rest of the world. And in addition, when I was doing my research, I found that there were a lot of tutorials that were out of date or really disjointed. Hopefully, this is a front-to-back tutorial that lets you get a stepping stone into building these things. And lastly, not having to rely on services/platforms and their markups. No need for any third-party service. You can deploy this thing directly to the network without paying any markup. So as far as high-level objectives goes, we want to do the following. We want to create our development environment, customize our token fields, including the metadata, and then deploy the smart contract to the Rinkeby testnet. So you need the following. First off, familiarity with the Linux command line. This will help out a lot. Although, if you're really stuck, you should be able to copy and paste my commands. In addition, you'll need a MetaMask wallet with testnet Ether. That looks something like this. You'll have your MetaMask wallet open, and you'll be connected to the Rinkeby test network, and you should have some funds in here. 1 Ether is plenty. I've attached links to faucets that will give you free Rinkeby test network Ethereum. Then you'll need a RESTful API with token metadata. I can't encompass the entire process for this specific step, but it should be akin to this. If we go to candidcryptopodcast.com/API/tokens, we will see the metadata that's returned based on the ID. So if we do 0, we'll see the metadata for the 0th token. And then finally, an infura.io account. Infura is the easiest way to interact with the Ethereum Rinkeby testnet and deploy your contracts to that network. Software. As far as software goes, you'll need NPM and Node. And if you're installing from apt on Ubuntu, make sure to update Node, make sure to update NPM. Far too often, you install something from apt, and it happens to be multiple major releases out of date. You want to make sure your tools are updated. Then we'll be using Truffle, the Open Zeppelin contracts, and finally, MetaMask. So to kick it off, let's create the development environment. For the sake of simplicity, I've just gone ahead and created my developer environment, but you should have access to Node. You should be able to npm and view your version. If you can do that, then you should be more or less set to begin installing the other tools we'll need. So to kick things off, we will initialize the project directory. So my directory is going to be one ccp example NFT, and then we're going to npm init y. Okay. Then we're going to install the Open Zeppelin contracts. As well as Truffle. Truffle will take a bit to install. Truffle may throw a vulnerability warning at the end of the install. I'll be honest, I don't know how production ready this method is, so bear that in mind if you're deploying to the mainnet. Okay, so we have Truffle. Now we're going to set up our Solidity project. So that is going to be the following commands: npx truffle init. Then we're going to create our build contracts directory. Then we're going to copy the Open Zeppelin contracts into our contracts folder. Okay, our next step is to create to_deploy.js. To_deploy.js is what's actually going to create the smart contract. I'm going to copy this. So you could just use nano. Here we go. Okay. So the only fields you want to modify are these fields. So I am going to change this to candid crypto example CCE. It doesn't really matter if the if you create an acronym as the token symbol from the token title. It's kind of your discretion. Once this is written, you can save this. And then we're going to want to prepare for the testnet deployment. So we want to npm install Truffle HD wallet provider. This installation will also warn of vulnerable packages. Okay. Now we need our secrets.json. Secrets.json will contain our seed phrase, and it'll also contain our project ID for Infura. You'll see how we interact with that momentarily. So what we're going to do is create secrets in our root directory for our project. And then here we'll do paste in our mnemonic or our seed phrase. And then okay. So now we have to configure our truffle-config.js file to for the Rinkeby network. So that is as following. You're going to edit truffle-config.js. It has some examples here for you, but you're going to add, well, actually, you could just uncomment this. So HD wallet provider equals require at truffle HD wallet provider. Then you're going to add the secrets. So constant secrets, acquire. And then finally, we're going to add Rinkeby as a object under networks. So for this part, just copy and paste what is in the presentation, which is part of this YouTube video. So now we're ready to deploy. We're going to npx truffle console network Rinkeby. From here, all you really do is type in migrate. So you wait for this to complete, should take about a minute. It will keep you updated on the status of your smart contract as it deploys it and waits for confirmations. Okay, once you are back to the console, assign NFT equal to the template you just deployed. Minter, pauser, auto, ID, dot deployed. Should give you an undefined. Then accounts, we'll list the accounts associated with our mnemonic. If you wish to double check that, your first MetaMask address should end with the same characters. And that indeed is the case, 2B06. Okay, so now it's just a matter of minting the NFT to an address. We're going to go ahead and use the first address that is associated with this seed phrase. Await nft.mint and then your address. Okay, and now we mint it. Great. And now we type in nft.address. So that is the smart contract. So we mint it to this address. And then if we go here, we will see that we now own the token we just generated right here. Candid crypto example, CCE. When you type in nft.address, this address right here is the address of the smart contract. So once you have minted the, once you have deployed the NFT, it has an associated smart contract that actually issues the tokens. The tokens then go from the smart contract to the address, the public address of your choosing. So we can see here that the activity, this was the contract creation, and then this was actually minting it. Okay. Once this has been deployed, we're going to use the OpenSea API to check the metadata. So you just copy this, put it right here. So we're going to take this, paste it in. And then once we just visit this URL, it'll tell us if our metadata is valid. If this doesn't work, then your NFT will not have an image. Okay, great. So we get a 200 OK, and the URI is indeed valid. So now it'll appear on the OpenSea testnet market. Nice. So here we go. Freshly minted NFT on the Rinkeby test network as of 3 minutes ago. So this will take this, so the information that's associated here comes from our URI. So in essence, the metadata for the NFT itself comes from that URI you specify. If we go to our API, you can see that I've enclosed this information. So this is the actual MP4. This is the name, and this is the description, and then an external URL link. So that's the entire process. That's how you deploy your NFT. A good place for further reading is the metadata standards for OpenSea. They define the metadata structure / properties that you can enclose, that you can attach to your NFT. I highly recommend you look at this because it'll give you a good idea of what kind of stuff you want to include in your REST server. I also have sources at the end. Thank you very much for watching. That is the process front to back. There are a few caveats. This might not be ready for mainnet deployment, but if you perform due diligence, you'll figure out how to do this. Thank you very much for watching this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe on YouTube. If you are a Spotify user, please look up Candid Crypto and give us a follow. And of course, as always, check out our website, candidcryptopodcast.com. You'll find all of our resources there. Thank you very much, and until next time.